Right now, somewhere in your life, there is a number quietly working against you. It shows up on the first of every month. You barely look at it anymore. You just pay it. That number is your EMI, and you have been told your whole life that it is simply the cost of owning something you couldn't otherwise afford. But what if that number was never designed to help you own something faster? What if it was designed to keep you paying for as long as possible, while making you feel like you're making progress the entire time? Think about the last big purchase you financed. A phone, a bike, maybe even a flat. The salesperson didn't talk about the total cost. They talked about the EMI, 900 rupees a month, 12,000 a month, a number small enough to feel painless. That's not an accident, that's the entire design. Here's the part almost nobody explains to you. Most EMIs in India are calculated using something called the reducing balance method. Sounds harmless, it isn't. In the early months of your loan, the vast majority of your EMI goes toward interest, not principal. You could be paying an EMI for 2 years and still owe almost as much as you originally borrowed. The bank isn't hiding this. It's printed in your loan schedule. You just never asked to see it. Why does this happen? Because interest is calculated on the outstanding amount, and in the beginning, the outstanding amount is the highest it will ever be. So the interest portion is highest exactly when you're least likely to question it, because you're excited about the new purchase, not scrutinizing the math behind it. This is where psychology enters the picture, and it's not an accident either. The economist Richard Thaler spent decades studying something called present bias, the very human tendency to overweight immediate comfort and underweight future cost. An EMI is present bias turned into a financial product. Pay a small amount today, feel almost nothing, worry about the rest later. Later never quite arrives because there's always another EMI, another purchase, another 12 months just around the corner. Ask yourself something. How many EMIs are you currently paying right now at this exact moment, not the total amount? The number of separate ones. If you have more than one, you're not managing debt anymore. You're managing a queue. And queues, once you have several running at once, rarely shrink. They rotate. One ends, another begins, because the moment your monthly outflow drops, it feels like room has opened up, and room that opens up gets filled. There's a name for this too. Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky, two of the most cited researchers in behavioral economics, described how humans experience losses and gains asymmetrically. Losing money feels far worse than gaining the equivalent amount feels good. Lenders understand this instinctively, even if they've never read a single paper on it. That's why EMIs are framed as small, steady, forgettable amounts, rather than as one large number that would trigger the pain of loss all at once. 12,000 a month sounds nothing like the 1,44,000 rupees it adds up to over a year. Same money, completely different feeling. Now here's the part that should genuinely unsettle you. This isn't just about loans for phones or bikes. This is the exact same mechanism behind home loans, the largest EMI most people will ever carry. A home loan stretched over 20 years doesn't just cost you the price of the house. Depending on the interest rate, you can end up paying nearly double the original loan amount by the time it's fully repaid, almost entirely because of how reducing balance interest compounds over such a long window. The house doesn't get more expensive. The time you take to repay it does the damage. So does this mean all EMIs are bad? No, that's not the reframe here. Debt itself isn't the enemy, unexamined debt is. An EMI on an asset that appreciates or generates income, a home in a market where prices are rising, a loan for a skill or a business can be a genuinely useful tool. An EMI on a depreciating asset you didn't need urgently, stacked on top of 2 or 3 other EMIs purely because the monthly number felt small, is where the trap closes. Here's what almost nobody tells you before you sign the loan agreement. You can ask for the amortization schedule. It's a legal document that shows you exactly how much of each month's EMI goes to interest versus principal for the entire duration of the loan. Most people never ask for it. Most people never see it. If you saw it before signing, really saw it, you'd realize how much of your first 2 or 3 years of payments barely touch what you actually owe. You also have another option most people don't use: prepayment. Even small additional payments toward the principal, especially early in the loan, can meaningfully cut down both your total interest and your loan tenure, because you're reducing the outstanding balance that interest gets calculated on. Banks rarely advertise this loudly for reasons that should now be obvious to you. The real skill here isn't avoiding EMIs entirely. It's asking one question before you sign anything. Not, can I afford the monthly payment? Almost anyone can make a monthly payment feel affordable if it's small enough. The real question is, what is the total amount I will pay by the end of this, and does what I'm buying justify that total, not just the monthly illusion of it? So go back to that number, the one that shows up on the first of every month. It was never designed to help you own things faster. It was designed to make debt invisible enough that you'd stop questioning it. Now you know exactly how it works and exactly why it works on almost everyone. The next EMI you're offered, you won't just see the monthly number anymore. You'll see the whole schedule behind it.